Yeah, so this is now my treasure hunting command center. So a little update on the John Tornow treasure. Why do I even think there is a treasure? So I'll go through that with you right now. So anyway, I first encountered a story. I looked it up on Washington State website. I was just curious to see, was there any buried treasure in Washington State? So I googled that, buried treasure in Washington State, and then I ended up with this right here. 14 lost treasures of Washington State, and the first one listed is the wild man of the Wynooche's buried loot. 15,000 in a strong box, buried on the banks of the Wynooche River, area that turns into a horseshoe-shaped creek. So, then it goes into the story. There's a lot of inaccuracies in the story, because after I've read a few books on it, I've done some research on it now, and then, I'm no expert on John Tornow, but the books I've read, clearly a lot of what's in this online is just pure fiction. Let's see, like for example, he was 6'4", weighed 250 pounds, and he was a huge Indian. Well, he wasn't an Indian. He was actually born in the United States to German immigrants. So, no, it was not an Indian. So yeah, a lot of things in here that just aren't accurate. Let's see here. The story of where he shot his brother's dog. They said in this story that it happened when he was 10 years old, but that actually happened when he was like 25. Basically, his brother had shot John's dog because the dog was old and, worn out. And so John immediately turned and shot his brother's dog. But that happened in their late 20s, so not when they were 10 years old. But anyway, this is what got me thinking there was turned on to the John Tornow treasure. So, and they got their story. They researched a lot from this book right here, Buried Treasure of the Pacific Northwest. It's got stuff from Oregon, Washington, Buried Treasure of the Wynooche River Wild Man. And this also contains a lot of inaccuracies in it. So it's a lot of things that are inaccurate in this that I went through and marked. Weighed 250 pounds. He more likely weighed like 180, 190. It says here, Tornow's father had him committed to an insane asylum. They think it was his brothers that did it, had him committed to an insane asylum, and there's no record of him actually being in an insane asylum. So this whole part of that story might be made up, but it definitely was not his father. And it says here, when he shot the cow in the field, was skinning it, then he shot the cow, then legend has it that a bullet went over his head. He returned fire, accidentally shot his nephews. That's one version of events. Anyway, this book says that the owner of the cow along with another man were walking towards him, and Tornow just casually shot him. Well, it doesn't even mention that these men were his nephews. And really, what I think happened is he either shot him on accident or he didn't even shoot him at all. There was other evidence that it could have been done by somebody else entirely. So, but it has a story where he snuck into a settlement called Jackson, somewhere up near Matlock, and he broke into the Matlock, or the Jackson grocery store that also served as a bank, and he took 20,000 in gold coins according to this account. So this right here has the story, and it was in a small metal box. He shoved the box into his coat pocket, then he took off. Supposedly the store owner allegedly seen him do it. So this has an account of the robbery and Tornow taking the money, and so an eyewitness seen him do it. So, but what I got curious about here was, did he, where'd they get this story from? Where's the reference point for this? So I looked it up, and they actually got a reference from a magazine called, if I can find it here real quick, magazine called Lost Treasure. That's where they got the story idea from. Let's see, I just had it and I lost it. Oh, exclusive clues to the John Tornow cache, and they misspelled his name. Lost Treasure, July 1993. So I started thinking, dang, wouldn't it be cool if I could get a hold of that magazine somehow, find a copy of it. So I started Googling, and I found that on eBay you can actually buy copies of this magazine. So that's what I did. I ordered the magazine from July 1993 that has the John Tornow story in it. And here it is. Lost Treasure, July 1993. 15,000 from general store robbery. Still missing. That's the Tornow treasure. So yeah, that's cool. This is a major clue right here. So this is the article right here. And it goes through. It talks about the whole Tornow, his story, a few inaccuracies from based on the other books, but mostly all is pretty good. It mentions the treasure, and here it's 15,000 in the gold box. So here the grocery store, Jackson awoke up sprightly. The man that owned the store was named Jackson, and he got there just in time to see a ragged ape man climbing through a window, and the instant he was gone with the 15,000. This is all based on the account of Al Moulton, 99 years old, who was a Spanish war veteran, and he served with Quimby in the Spanish-American War. And so supposedly they both knew each other from the Spanish-American War, and they were friends. So this is where the story of the treasure comes from, is here. Now in this version of the story, now supposedly a big thing about this treasure, if you will, is that supposedly in the middle of the shootout between Quimby and Tornow, Quimby's the last survivor of his group. Two of his deputies have already been killed. Quimby and Tornow stop shooting. They have a conversation about the treasure. Quimby tells Tornow, I just want to know where the treasure is. Tell me where it is and I'll leave you alone. I'll let you live. So forth and so on. So allegedly, you know, Tornow tells him, then Quimby shoots him anyway. Which I really don't think that version is true. In the book The Ape Man, they have Quimby's account of the shooting right when he gets back to logging camp number 5, Simpson logging camp 5. He tells everybody what happened, and you know, he was basically scared for his life. And going up against Tornow, Tornow was the best woodsman of the time. He was an excellent shot with his rifle, knew how to live off the land. It'd be like, you know, going up against Rambo. I mean, you don't have much of a chance. So yeah, I doubt this conversation actually ever took place, but allegedly. He said, John, all I want is the money box. What's done is done, John. Tell me where the money box is and I'll let you go free. So, a huge form stretched out, wiggled into the edge of a rim rock. It's buried. Buried where, John? Where you and no one else will ever find it. It's in the Oxbow country. Quimby paused. Just tell me, John, is it buried in Oxbow country, where you were camping? And then, you know, Tornow goes on to say it's buried next to a rock shaped like a fish's fin. So yeah, anyway, this is where the story of the treasure comes from. And one thing I like about this magazine, it gives you right here clues to John Tornow's treasure, 15,000 in gold coins, how to find it. It says the cache was buried on the Wynoochee River, where it turns into a large horseshoe-shaped creek. During this century, however, a dam was built upstream on the Wynoochee, perhaps causing a change in the flow of the river. The only visible sign of the location of the treasure is a rock that resembles a fish's fin. While some have found the fin-like rock, they have not found the treasure. It says it's in the Olympic National Forest, but the area where I've been searching is not in the Olympic National Forest, so you don't need a permit to treasure hunt there. So here's what I'm thinking. Conclude this video. I keep saying a horseshoe-shaped creek. Well, the Oxbow itself, it makes a big horseshoe around a chunk of land, shaped like an oxbow or shaped like a giant horseshoe. So what I'm thinking is if I can get down to the river, there's a sandbar that I can pull up on the satellite that I can see, a gravel bar. If I can get down the river and search down along there, that makes a giant horseshoe. So I'll go down along the river and I'll look for a rock boulder shaped like a fish's fin. That'll be my next plan, is to get down there somehow. Okay, well, that's my update. Catch you later.